Bataille.us website.
Oh, okay.
And and then the 5th edition rules, you can buy a digital copy on War Game Vault.
Or Game Vault.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like $7 or something.
Yeah, it's not bad. And then you've got a digital copy you can mess around with. So, hey, Brendan, I did have a question for you about one of your cavalry pieces.
Sure.
There is here behind the line. There is the Maripol Hussars. They were stacked with who was it? They were stacked with the Lancers over here by Napoleon. Did they have a tired marker on them from the previous turn?
Yes. Yeah, they did.
So, given where they're at, they moved more than half, right? Because it costs 3 for them to change formation, right? Am I counting it wrong?
I think it was exactly half.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. I was looking at him like, okay. Well, I wasn't sure, but I thought I'd ask and I didn't recall whether they had a tired marker on. I thought they had a tired marker, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, their half is 8, right? So I think they moved 8.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, good. Have you had a chance to look at the scenario stuff for the match out in Gettysburg?
Only barely. Like I got the, I think David Pluck helped me find, or you did, find the setup zones, which are somewhere in the flipbook document.
Right.
And I was starting to look at that and the map, but I haven't had a chance to look at the emails that you had put together with the command structure. That's like.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, those were the ones that we had used when we got together and played with 5th edition. So we can see how you want to modify it or play around with it one way or the other.
I thought that the general discussion in those emails made a lot of sense. I skimmed them, but I hadn't put it together and thought about it.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that we were making sense. So we did spend a fair amount of time contemplating all of those various and sundry ideas and concepts. So, and we were trying to figure out, how to incorporate things for 5th edition. So a lot of the stuff is already, a fair amount of it's kind of been done there with the rules they have on the labataille.us site. But I figured there might be some things that we might want to tweak here or there. All right, we've got William Arends from Kitchener, Ontario, signing in to say hello. So, greetings, William. He's one of our regulars here and a contributor to the channel. So, get bonus points for that. Gonna have to send him a gold star.
When's he going to start joining the play?
That's a great idea. So, maybe we can recruit him for one and kind of get him in. It's either that or he'll quit entirely and we'll never see him again. So, but I think he did comment when we were, maybe it was with the Battles of the Age of Reason post from the other week, that he's got some of the bar games, and is well, bar is a little intimidating, I would say. La Bataille can be intimidating too, but I think generally speaking, it's a little easier for folks to deal with. So, but yeah, Well, you guys have. Did you get a fourth player for your Linny game?
Yes. I go ahead, Brandon.
Yeah, Brian will be joining us on the Prussian side, so it'll be really fun. He's a retired service member and has been very interested in the history. He started to read Napoleonic history. Has, I think, played a lot of other war games, but this will be his introduction to Napoleonic, so he's excited about it.
Cool, cool. Well, that does sound.
I think
good.
La Bataille is the most complicated game I've ever played. For sure.
Okay.
What are the complicated parts about it, Mitch?
Well, first of all, there's the complex rules, depending on which set you go for. And then once you kind of get a handle for the rules, the tactical considerations are kind of unlike any other game I've played in terms of, particularly if you play Rags, where you're trying to deal with, cavalry and, the size of it and so forth. Yikes. It demands a lot of the player, I think, to understand the rules, and B, to play it in some facsimile of a good play. Which I think reflects a strength. I don't know if you'll agree or disagree with this statement. I believe that this represents the high watermark for sort of influence of a leader and what was demanded of that man in warfare. Divisional leader, that kind of thing. What was demanded of him was unlike anything that'll ever happen again.
Yeah.
It was both very personal and also very technical, and required both a real understanding of the formations and how the units interacted, and then also a lot of intuition about what would work and what wouldn't, and human morale and stuff.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I like about the game, is I think it actually really reflects those demands of the leaders.
Cool. Yeah.
And that's a mix of the demand on the player and also on the leader counters. When do you bring them in?
Oh yeah, you being the leader. You the player are the leader here. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. When to commit cavalry, when not to. Just so complicated.
Yeah, I've always liked it because it really has the sort of rock, paper, scissors, combined arms type of possibilities that you don't always get with some of the higher level stuff that's either regimental, like the Vive l'Empereur series, or more brigade level, like you sometimes find with Hexasim games, where in some
like
games,
War and Peace is just completely unlike this.
Yeah,
There's
well,
just
War and
zero
Peace, you're on
comparison.
your operational level, not even operational. It's more strategic level, I think.
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
Kevin Zucker ones tend to be a little bit more operational, I think. And we got to get together, Rob, and play one of those. I did buy one, so now I just have to learn the rules, figure out how to play it. But that might be a fun one for us to try. So, and I'm looking forward to this new ALAU game. So,
Mhm.
I
think I need a 5-minute session with you, Eric. It's our move, right?
Yeah, it is our move, and yeah, we should probably chat a little bit here. So let's head.
Are we
over
3
to,
or are we 2 tonight?
No, Robert's with us. So,
Hi, Robert.
Hey, how are you doing?
Good.
Good.
I'm feeling pretty solid about this exam on Thursday. I was getting a little freaked out, but the review session, I'm like, I think I can do all that coding. I think I can do all that. Just,
good.
By the seat of my pants, because there's no notes or anything like that. It's just you have to handwrite all your code. But I think I got 95% of it down. I think I'm going to do okay.
Awesome.
Nice.
Well, that's always good. I don't know. I would be perhaps a little intimidated going back to college at this tender age. Trying to get back in the mode of, okay, I got to study this and trying to read through things at a pace that way you can get through it before the exam comes, kind of a thing.
My brain hurts all the time.
Well, that's not so bad. You'll be, I think what is your hope is to get some sort of new job out of this, or?
No, I don't see a job. I think this is more, personal, that kind of thing. I
Okay.
don't see me. It's at 57 years old and maybe say 3 or 4 more years to get a degree. At 60, trying to get a job. Who knows? But it would sure be interesting if I could do my own programming for my own reasons, that kind of stuff.
Okay, so this is more personal fulfillment.
Yeah.
Okay,
This is
cool.
more
I
like a
thought it
personal
was some
challenge.
sort of training for a job or career change or something like that.
Yeah, I just thought, how can I challenge myself? How about engineering? Oh, that's challenge.
All right, well then La Bataille should be easy by comparison, right?
You would think. With all contraire.
All right, well gentlemen, let's head down to the French headquarters and spend a few minutes catching up. Here we go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hey.
All right, everybody here? Yep. Okay, cool. So, Mitch, what is your question for me?
Okay, so I feel like my artillery is rather close.
Yep.
On the other hand, maybe I should just leave it there. I don't know. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna get some nice big massive blows. That's where it stands right now.
Correct.
And I could because I can't move it backwards, right?
You can prolong in any
any
direction. So you can go backwards, sideways, whatever. So you could pull them back hex, and kind of fade back a little bit. You could take some of these units that are in the forest and kind of move them out so you have something out on your flank. You don't have a lot over on, I guess that's going to be, there to the left. Don't leave them in skirmish order because then he'll just ride up with his cavalry and grind them up. So you can, shift them around. You do have one cavalry unit, the 12th Cuirassiers, that's got one increment left. It's sitting over there next to his Austrians and yeah.
That fancy 215.
Yeah. So no, not that one. This one over here.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, he's doomed. So if you do nothing with him, he'll just get shot to crap. If you leave, he'll get shot to crap. So you might as well charge, and maybe if you get lucky, the Austrians will fail their morale check.
Got it.
Okay,
that
but
makes
otherwise, you can't. There's no other use for him at this point. He's pretty much forlorn hope. He's going to get toasted.
Should I back up? Should I back up the stack of 410 and the 610s that I have in the middle?
Yeah. So if you're gonna be moving your guns back, you're gonna want to move them back so that way they can intercept a cavalry charge or attack or something like that. So that would be one thing to keep in mind. He's just probably
the
going
next question is.
Yep.
Here's my next question.
Sure.
Should I move my infantry lines up and just engage with him?
No, I don't think so. I mean, he's got a fair amount of. He's got some of that guard infantry, which is pretty good. And he's got more stuff kind of backing it up. So I don't know that that's going to be terribly helpful. I particularly if our objective is to try to keep you off a level. So it might be the sort of thing that, just kind of fade back a little bit, put yourself in a position where you can defend yourself. You don't need to have a solid line with your infantry. You might want to have a little gap somewhere, so that way,
I'm not loving that.
Yeah, so that way, like if something, your cavalry fails a morale check or something, and it's got a rout or retreat, it's not going to go over the top of your infantry and then cause a cascade of other things.
The goal for me was to spread that out. If not, if I wasn't going to move forward and engage, then I was going to, I was going to give myself some lanes.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and some of the weaker units that have only got, a couple of increments. You want them to stack together because right now, if you were to be charged, they can't even form square. They've only got 2 increments, so they get overrun, kind of thing. So you don't need to have a long line. You just have to have stuff, kind of together, and then with the skirmisher, cavalry skirmisher, that should go.
What about this? Should I just charge that 5-7 with all my cavalry?
No.
Because I'll get my ass kicked.
Well, it's going to leave your cavalry all exhausted, and then it's not going to be
Oh,
able
that's
to
right.
react to
Yeah.
anything that they do.
Yeah.
So
they're already tired.
yeah. So the better thing to do would just be to, if you're going to fade your guns back, fade the cavalry back too, and then you've got your cavalry can protect your guns. You've got guys that have recovered in the back, including the guy that's way back at Siwitz that we discovered, who's probably been sitting there for 4 hours now. You can bring him up, and then that group of infantry that came around the side, you're going to start marching them towards that little village of Austerlitz. Keep your cavalry behind the infantry, right? You need to preserve your cavalry, and his.
Don't lead with my cavalry.
Don't lead with your cavalry, no, because his Cossacks can't attack your infantry. I mean, they if, unless they do a move in melee and get around your rear or something. So kind of keep your guys in column, kind of have them march like in a wedge, so they can kind of mutually protect each other's flanks and sides.
And so for this turn, keep them in column, and then maybe next turn think about getting them into line, that kind of thing.
Well, you've got to get close enough to Austerlitz to do anything. There's no point in putting them in line now because it's going to slow them down. So kind of move them up, get them in some sort of position where they can kind of come along, and then keep your cavalry behind the wedge to kind of protect your
The better
rear.
part of valor here is to back up a little bit and not be aggressive. Gotcha.
No, it's.
Oh, I mean, in the area that I'm engaged.
Yeah.
Not Austerlitz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then we'll just see how things develop over there. And then Robert, I'm going to do some charges. I should hopefully clear that one artillery unit that's there in front of you.
Are you going to use the cavalry with the 015 guy?
Nope. I'm doing stuff. I'm coming in on their flank over here with my dragoons that I've got over there. So we'll see how that all sorts itself out.
Okay. Question.
Yeah.
With the stuff with the cavalry and infantry there, that's opposite all his squares. You wanted me to move some of that cavalry over toward the road, right?
Yes. Yeah. So start getting more of that over that way, and then Friant, I think you said he's got.
I'm going to move him on the road. I'm going to move him off the road.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
He's
4,
got 16
5, 6,
increments.
7, 8, 9.
I think he can make it, right?
Yeah.
Maybe
well, that's
he
what you
can't
got to see, because we've got we got 5 turns left. So
that's 40 hexes. Or 35.
35, yeah. 35 hexes. Yeah.
Okay, let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I'll leave
8,
that to
9.
you. Yeah, but otherwise, get more of your cavalry around over there. If nothing else,
He doesn't have the movement to do it.
Yeah.
So I'll move the cavalry over toward the road. I'm not going to move all of it though. I need to have some to support my infantry, right?
Yeah, and you can move some of your infantry over towards the road too, right? These other guys here, they can move over towards.
Yeah, but what about his whole line of stuff that's in square and his cavalry up there?
What about it? What's he going to do with it?
Take it out of square and well, I don't know if he would.
Yeah,
start
they can only
move.
move. So as long as you stay 6 hexes away from his infantry, right? It costs 1 to come out of square, and then the rest runs. So move your stuff, and then he's either going to have to move his squares to protect all the stuff that's routed. He's going to have to move some of his cavalry to protect the stuff that's routed. So just shift all of that stuff over to the over towards the Austerlitz road.
Okay, and the stream in the swampy area is all clear, right? Considered clear?
The swamp is treated as clear terrain, and the
Okay.
stream costs +1 for
Oh,
infantry to
+1 for-
cross and
and
+2 for
+2.
cavalry to cross.
Okay, I just saw that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move all that stuff then, and I'll head it over toward the road then.
Yep. Start
I assume
shifting it
that
over that
Russian
way.
light battery is going to get destroyed this turn, right?
That is the hope.
Yeah. And
There's
the French are
there's
just
still
gonna keep
more.
on coming
There's still
forward and
more that need to
pounding.
be destroyed, but
And you're going to fight these Russians, right? Straight up.
that's what we have to do.
Yeah, exactly. It looks good. It looks like it's well within your task. Mhm.
I'm
Well,
just gonna slam into all those.
He's got almost no artillery over there. It's like a beautiful opportunity.
yeah. So we'll see how it all plays out.
Okay.
All right.
How about maybe using that? Oh no, I can't do that. Okay, forget that.
What should we expect from Napoleon this turn? What's his plan?
I haven't figured it out yet.
Okay.
It's like
Be
anything
nice
else.
if he eliminated that.
So
Yeah,
so
so-
I am trying to not look at this until I sign on 5 minutes before we play, because the whole point of playing this is to imitate or simulate what we would be doing at a game convention. And at a game convention, I don't have 2 hours to sit and stare at the map and figure out the perfect move. I've got maybe 10 minutes from when the one guy's turn finished, we get a drink of water, and now it's the next turn kind of a thing. So I'm trying to be a little bit more spontaneous. So I know there's been a few times I'm like, oh, curses, I missed an opportunity here, or I missed an opportunity there, but that's just the nature of the universe. And to prepare for, a game at a conference, besides, I don't want to spend a lot of time thinking about these things all the time. I would
No, it's
become
fair.
obsessed with it if I did.
That was more of a half joke. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
So
you know,
no worries.
What kind of havoc are you planning today?
Oh, yeah, the
Okay.
usual cannons are going to be firing, so that should be enough.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
All right.
If
I think
everybody's
we're
good, let's step back.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, we have returned.
Welcome back.
Hello. I will note that we started in January of 22 playing the Goss Atlantic Bowl.
Right.
We finally finished our scenario.
Wow.
It took a few years, and we're starting up again with an international group. It's pretty fantastic fun.
Well, that sounds terrific. I mean, with our little game here, when did we start this? Maybe back in May? So we've been at it for a while. I think we'll have it done here in another month or so. So yeah, cool.
What was the game, Eric, you and I, or maybe even David remembers, we played where, I know, I remember now. I think, was it Wavre we played? The three of us?
That wasn't
Or-
me.
No,
was it?
no. So that we played online, Vassal.
Yeah.
We played
Didn't we
Aspirin
play-
Esling, right? Aspirin
Yeah.
Esling, that's where Albert and I were the Austrians and you and Dave were the French.
We had the one where you had like the long road and you had the French coming over a bridge and then moving up north. And then you had a town which you engaged, and then David was moving his army to flank, and we had that huge stack of leaders. Do you remember that? What game was that?
Huh. And we played it on Vassal?
Yeah, we played it on Vassal.
Oh,
sounds
that
like
was Dresden.
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 That was Dresden, yeah. And so that was Albert and David and John Minchin playing the Allies, and then Tom Whitfield was playing the French, and then you took over and joined the French team with me. Yeah, that was Dresden. That was a fun one.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah. That's the one I'm hoping to play at Tempe. So teach Chat GPT how to grade your papers so you can come and join us.
Yeah. We'll see about that. I found a whole website for K through 12 teachers that's all built on AI so that they can utilize AI for their classrooms.
Cool.
It's kind of cool.
All right.
So it's everywhere.
Well, I'm going to start marking my charges, and I have a fair number of them. And let's see here, charge. And this guy's going to charge. And who else? This guy's going to charge. Did you mark your charge, Mitch?
I did.
All right. Well, so I've got, let's see, one. I'll just move that up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 charges over on my side of the map. So, Mitch, do you want to do yours first?
Sure, I got one.
Okay.
Yeah, right here, Brennan. It's kind of a last hurrah for this unit. You got one step left, so he'll try to charge. He'll declare the Austrian unit as his target.
Okay, I'll take a look at the square table and either square or stand. 1 second.
Austrians.
So his morale looks reasonably good for Austrians. So he'll try to.
I'm sorry, what's that?
He
Oh,
tried
you
to
rolled an
stand and
11.
failed, so he routed.
Okay, so so Mitch, what you're going to do now is you're going to roll 1 die for recall. Okay, so the recalled. So you've got 15 movement points. And he's got what, 4 increments left?
Yeah.
So you can spend 8 of your 15 movement points to grind him into oblivion.
Do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet charge. Lousy morale by the Austrian battalion. That was a great charge.
Hey, I finally got something decent to go over here.
Well, what if any of them survive, they will get the Legion of Honor.
Do I move him forward?
So now what you have to do is you've got a unit here, you've got a unit here. So they're within 2 of you. You would have to declare whether this guy's your target or that guy's your target, or this guy's not your target or that guy's not your target. So you have to declare who's your target and who's not your target. And then...
Well, I have such limited prospects here. Let me see if I got some of the nuance here. If I declare the guns my target, for example, will these guys get a shoot at me?
Yeah, because you'll move forward 1 hex,
Yeah.
so they'll get a shot at you.
We'll just declare him the target, and we'll see if we can break him as well.
Okay, I think they got to roll another 11 to do that.
Well, 13 or 14. Yeah.
Okay.
It didn't work, but it was worth a try.
They passed.
One factor.
Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, so they did not die in vain. They took out some Austrians in the process.
Yeah, that was actually really great. That was really,
strong.
really good to do.
Yeah. Interesting how that works out in the game system. Nice.
All right. Over on my side of the universe, I'm going to start with the top unit here. This is a Dragoon unit that's got 2 increments. I can't charge them together because they don't have a leader. So he's going to step out. And there's 1, 2, 3. Your guns are the target of the charge. And 4. And let's see, he's hitting you in the flank, so that's -12. You're on a level, that's -6, -18. They're
So there's
gone.
no rules for reorienting the cannon in this set.
No, not in this one.
Mhm.
So they're eliminated because you've got a -21.
Wow.
Ooh.
Couple of nice openers by the French cavalry this turn.
Well, we'll have to see if we can keep it up.
Okay, we put those on here.
All right, and we'll just keep.
Is it a recall roll now?
Yeah. So I have to. No, actually, there's no recall because the unit's totally destroyed because it's artillery. If it were infantry, then I'd have to make a recall roll, and then we'd have to see if I pass and all that stuff that happens. So we're not going to worry about that right now. What I'll do, though, is I'm going to keep carrying on. So I'm going to move forward here, and I'm going to declare this guy the target of the charge and move right there. So he's going to have a +3 for being in line, a -3 for the heavy cavalry, and a -6 for the level. So he's just got
At
a
what point did he
-6.
decide to try to square?
I don't know, when he was at he could have declared a square any time that he would have been able to see me.
So
right, probably there if he wanted to.
David?
Yeah, no, I'm not.
Okay, so just make a morale check with a -6. And so they are going to rout. So now my guy's got to make a recall roll, and he recalls. How many I've spent? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points to get there so far. And I've got 10 left. I'm going to spend, let's see, I'm going to spend, how about 4 movement points to grind him down so he's half dead.
Well, he's got 1 on it right now.
Yep, he's got 1. So I'm going to spend 4 movement points, and that'll add 2 more hits to him. So he'll have 3.
1 out of every 2?
Yeah, it's 1 loss for every 2.
Oh.
So there is an advantage to maintaining some forces till late in the game when your opponent's morale might be kind of busted, where you can get more effective results. Interesting.
Yes. Well, and part of it is getting lucky too. Do you want to roll for this guy here to see if because I think you had to go over the top of him. So he's going to have a -12.
Oh my.
Well, he passes. All right, then we're just going to carry on. And here I go. I'm going to hit this guy. He's now the new target. So he's half dead, getting hit in the flank.
But the 413 has an option to charge you back, right?
I mean, yes, when I'm here, he's got a line of sight on me. If I move forward 1 more hex, he doesn't. So if he wants to...
I actually don't need a line of sight for there. If you it says for a reaction charge or an opportunity, you enter that 2 hex zone in front of me.
Right. This is not an opportunity. Opportunity charges happen during the movement phase. This would be a reaction charge, which happens in the charge phase. So you could, you're at this point, you can see him, so you could do a reaction charge.
What is this that I'm? This is
so that would be this one here. It is.
What unit is charging?
It's 2 increments of dragoons.
2 increments of dragoons.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yes,
David, if you make a reaction charge and charge out 2 hexes, which you'll get, I think, as like cavalry, you'll put a nice block on other stuff coming in through there. So it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Would they meet in the middle? if he's successful?
Well, no, he would just move forward 2 hexes, and so he'd either put his unit there or put his unit there.
So regs 30 is we would both advance and meet in the middle.
Yeah, the light cavalry, because he's light cavalry, he can jump off 2 hexes, and so say we were 4 away, then he'd move forward 2, I'd move forward 1, then he'd move forward 1, then I'd move forward 1. We'd keep doing that until we either met or somebody escaped the zone. So yeah, go ahead and roll and see if you can react. 15. Well, they probably passed. You got a leader there.
Let's see.
Oh, they're 24s. Oh, they didn't pass.
And they didn't pass. So they just stand there, right?
They just stand there, and they stand and they watch as their colleagues get all torn to pieces. All right, so here's the target. So he's going to have a minus. He's going to have a minus a whole bunch, a minus 27. I don't think it's possible for him to stand.
Well, now he also had a chance possibly to go to square, right?
Well, no, because I'm coming in on his flank, so he doesn't have a line of sight on me. His front is out this way. And he's only got 2 increments anyway, so he can't form square because he's only got 2 increments. You need 3. Right. 13. Okay. So that's no good. Let's see if I can recall. I do. So I'm going to spend 2 more points and just remove him from the map entirely.
Well, it'd be 4 points.
Oh, you're right. You're right. 4 points. Yes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then I spent
4 previously.
4 in
yeah,
pursuit.
I spent 15 points so far. So then I'll advance into this hex, and this guy is the target of the charge.
What was his movement rate?
I've got 16, so it's 11 plus 5. So I've got 16 points. So I've spent, at this point, I've spent 16 to get right there.
So you get a +5 to your movement on this
Correct.
charging?
Yep.
Got it. Thank you.
44. So they're going to stand, I think. No, let's see. They are half dead, and they're on a level, so it's a +12. So what's their morale? 26.
That's a fail.
Yeah, so that's a fail. So they're going to rout, but I don't have any movement left to pursue them.
I guess they got to go through this guy.
Oh, they can't go through the woods?
They've got to go through the easiest terrain first.
What's the thinking on that?
I think the general idea is that the units wouldn't go through. You know, they're going to try. They're fleeing, so they're trying to get away from the action.
Yeah.
Personally,
but the
if I was
logic would
fleeing,
be
I'd run for the woods if cavalry was
exactly. That's what I'm saying. The logic would be, hey, let's get away from these cavalry by running into the church.
I'm going to roll a recall anyway, and I recall. Okay, and so here at this point, I'll just attack this guy. He's my target, so that'll take care of that. For
and
the
that's
moment.
And that's three or four hexes in a row in a straight line, right?
Yep, I just went straight. So I'll be doubled, and I'm doubled because I'm heavy cavalry against light. So it'll be
a fair fight.
It'll be a fair fight. Yeah, indeed. All right, next charge.
This guy passed.
Oh, I'm not charging him anyway. I can't. I'm all out of movement.
The routed guy ran over.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with a 61.
I'm not allowed to run through the woods. So.
Yeah, correct. Okay, next one, this other dragoon here. They're going to go forward 1, 2, and they're going to turn 3, 4, and go this way now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy is the target of my charge.
So these guys here would have some opportunity to square.
They could square if they wanted to. I mean, this guy could, this guy could.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got a line of sight with this cavalry to me, Dave. So you've got some choices to make if you want to try to reaction charge or not.
This is a single dragoon unit, is that correct?
It's just a single increment of dragoons.
Yeah.
So it doesn't pack a lot of punch, but you know,
if as has been shown, that one increment does do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same guy that took out your guns there on the other
and whatever. So yeah,
56. So you've got a minus 18, minus 21. What's their morale? So 24 is going to be plus 18 is going to be a
54.
54.
No, it should be 64.
24.
Because plus 18 is 3.
2, 3. Well, no, it's a 54. Yeah. And then I went 3 straight, so that's another 3. So you've got a minus 21. So he actually breaks as well. So a 56, you'd need to get a 61 for him to have stood. So I need to see if I can recall, and I do. So I spent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's spend another. He's got 3 increments left. We'll spend another single point. Or two movement points to grind him up so he's half dead then. So add another hit to him. All right. And so now we move. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 10. Okay, so I've got 6 movement points left. So, all right, so we're going to move forward here, and we're declaring your guns the target of the charge. Do you want a reaction charge?
Yeah, I think so. Brennan, you agree?
I don't know. It's a total toss-up. What's the gun's morale?
16s.
Yeah, they'll have a minus 9 on the roll. And with the leader, they'll have a minus 7 on the roll.
Up to you. It's probably not a bad idea. You could guess.
That's just how much do you love your guns, David?
Yeah. I'm going to try and reaction.
All right, you do. So spur forward a hex. Okay, and let me move my guy here. And he's going to have his work cut out for him.
It's going to be a very close contest there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm really worried about that.
Those are some fancy-looking Austrian cavalry, or Russian, whichever they are.
They're Austrian cavalry. They're really pretty. They've got
the Royal Lippus honors.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Just so impressed with their high stepping that everybody
just dance around and do all. Yep. Ever watched those guys in high school? They were amazing.
Yeah. All right. Next, I've got some dragoons over here. These guys are going to go, and let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3. They're going to turn this way, 4, 5, and then they're going to go here 6, 7, 8, this guy's the target of the charge. And when I move here on top, you have an option to reaction charge.
Oh, you're moving onto here?
Yeah. That just means he'll be doubled unless you reaction charge.
Well, it's probably a good idea for me to reaction them too.
Okay, roll your dice.
Oh my.
All right. Well, you've got your leader there who adds in 6. So I don't know what their morale is. 22. And you rolled a 22. So they did not reaction charge. Okay, and that ends that guy's charge. All right, next. I got these guys here, this stack. They're going to come spurring forward. So 1. So you've got line of sight on me here, and I think this guy's got a line of sight on me as well. Anybody want to form square?
So what do we got here?
I've got a stack of heavy cavalry.
It's 4, 5 increments, and Kellerman, huh?
Yep.
Might be worth squaring here, which we don't see very often, because that's probably not affected by being on the level, but up to you, David. Kind of from my point of view.
And if you're in square, then you automatically don't have to pass. You don't have to pass a morale check.
Well, if you're in square, you've got a very good chance of if I were to attack, he'd get lots of stuff shooting at me, and he'd get a lot of stuff that would be potentially my melee value would be a third.
Right. And would he pass? Then would he not need to make a morale check either?
Well, he'd get a +6 on his die roll.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So, but being on a level
in Premier, do squares actually have to roll morale to stand?
Not during the charge phase, but I know that. Yeah, I don't think that there's a. I mean, there is a +12 to your morale check if you're in square. There's a cavalry charge morale modifier. So say you'd put him in square during the movement phase, and I went to charge him, he'd have a +12 on his roll to stand. So that's why sometimes, like, if you know that you're outnumbered by a bunch of cavalry, you'll go into square to proactively, instead of waiting during the charge phase where you might make a mistake.
Right.
Being on a level does add 3 to your die roll. So that's the only other thing.
Okay, where's the chart for where?
So the Russians forming from column. It's right there. It's right. It's kind of split between pages between, I think, the French and the Austrian. French and the Austrians.
So this guy's got it at 4, right? Movement points.
This guy here, yeah, because he would have seen me here.
Yeah. We'll try for him. Let's see. So I need to roll low now, right? Okay.
Yeah. So a 33 is a good roll, and that's going to put him into square.
Lost track of him. Where is he?
Right here.
Okay, that was that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next one could do it at 3.
Range of 3, and he's forming from column, it looks like. So, and you'll have a +3 on your roll, so you want to roll low again.
Yeah, because my rolls to stand this is much higher probability of this than roll to stand.
Yep.
So, low again.
Okay, so he forms square.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so they're both squared up. Interesting stuff.
Can you ride over square this game?
I can ride over the square, and so the question is, do I want to ride over the square, or do I want to do something else?
Mm-hmm.
That is always an interesting question. Boop, boop, boop.
You could double up on the cavalry.
I could come around and then do that.
Hit him from the side.
Yep. And he can't reaction charge. But if I go up over his square, he's got what? Yeah. No, I'm going to turn the corner here. So I went 1, 2. So he's not the target. He's not the target. I'll go here. I'll turn 3, 4 to face that way, 5 to go there, 6, 7 to go there. So that should get me over here like that. And that guy's the target. All right. I've still got one last cavalry charge to do. So let's go ahead and do that. We're back over on this side of the map. And this is Dragoon Leader Boy. So let's go ahead and move that forward. 1, 2, 3.
Whoa. Slow down.
I'm over here. Okay.
Yep.
All right. So here I am. I just stepped off. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 4. So he's got a line of sight to me. He's got a line of sight to me. They could both go into square.
Yeah, I'm gonna. And as I said, my squares chances are much higher than my chances to stand. So I'm going to try to go to square here.
At 4 movement, it's automatic. At a range of 4 hexes, it's automatic. It is.
Both of them?
So because they're both in line. So there's 2 square tables. One is for Russians in column, and then the other is for Russians in line. And so the Russians in line at 3 or 4 movement points distance, they're automatic. So
I can wait one more hex before I decide, right?
Oh, there I moved 1 more hex forward.
All right.
Oh, no.
I'll
It's very intentional.
There you go. Do you feel lucky? All right. Good. So 1, 2. I've gone 2. Here's 3. So he's not the target of the charge. He's not the target of the charge. We'll go here. That's going to be 4. He's the target of the charge. And so as I move from here to here, you'll get a shot at me with, you got 3 increments there. I don't know what your multiplier is for your musketeers in square.
Yeah, 41 is probably not
They're
good.
thirded, aren't they?
Yeah, and then you'd be thirded anyway, so you don't have a whole heck of a lot. Okay, so now I got to read up what the heck happens with your guns that are limbered. I think they make a morale check like anybody else.
Yeah, I think they can disorder, right? If they're limbered.
So let me read here real quick. Somewhere it's got the information. Unaccompanied limbered artillery is treated like infantry for the purposes of a cavalry charge. So go ahead and roll. They're going to have a -9. So they're going to rout. So I've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can spend 6 movement points to eliminate them, and that's what I'm going to do.
Is there a recall?
I've got a leader there, so it's automatic.
Got it.
Yeah, because boy's there, and so the French recall on a 2 through 6, and a leader adds 1. So even if I rolled a 1, it becomes a 2, so they recall. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, that's 11 points. What can I do? 12, 13, 14, 15.
These guys, that guy can swear if you want.
Yeah, so before I do anything, you might want to think about that. Because he's got a line of sight on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll try to square.
Okay, well, yeah, he's in column, so he's not automatic.
Right, it's not automatic.
Yep.
So
yeah,
that's gonna
22. That's good enough. 22 skidoo.
But now you can ride over.
Mitch, you've played a bunch of Regs 30, and of course the cavalry charges are very powerful. Here in Premier, this is an example of a very effective set of cavalry charges. It's like a different mechanic, but the general concept of holding on to some cavalry till the enemy is in some disorder and then launching a lot of it, it produces pretty good combat effects.
Yeah, that was my observation, is that if you have this cavalry for once you put somebody on level or worse, my goodness, it can be just devastating.
Yeah.
And it's also the heavy cavalry here, which is really good at it, right? It gets that extra modifier.
Yeah, so I'm just going to declare this guy the target of the charge, and we will
this is also the chance you could roll over the top, right?
I could. So if I went, I can't go here because I would have to stop because I'm entering his zone of influence, right?
Oh, even though he's
already engaged, right? So in Premier, they're exerting the zone of influence all the time. While in some of the other rule sets, the zone of influence won't stop, necessarily the cavalry moving through it. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I've got 11. If I turned here, it'd be 12, 13, 14, 15. I could get here, and that would be the extent of things.
Got it.
Yeah, so I can't really get anywhere else terribly exciting at the moment. So the only place that's really going to kind of promise any bang for the buck would be just to hit this guy. And so we'll have fairly overwhelming, oops, I picked up the wrong guy. We'll have really good odds against that poor sod. And
it sounds like a good application.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I played Reg 30. I'm not even sure you could add on. You know what I mean? It would seem. I think that those units that are engaged kind of do their thing.
Right.
Regs 30, it's a 1-to-1. You can only charge one.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, one of the things that, and you'll notice, Mitch, right? So with all these charges and stuff that I did, I had the units lined up the turn before in different places where I knew they could kind of go, they could turn, they could do stuff. I didn't know where everyone was going to be, but you can see how kind of having your people kind of in some sort of, so you have to think about it.
In a classic, you force some guys into square that now can be attacked by infantry in line.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's going to be,
that's what's coming up next, right?
Exactly. That's what's coming up next. But unlike regs, where you move the cavalry and then you charge, with this and with 5th edition and 3rd edition, you have to get your cavalry in position the turn before for the charge you're going to do the following turn. So
makes sense. Yeah.
So that's a big key difference if you want to think of it that way, between the rule sets. So just FYI, for future reference.
Yep.
The general sort of situation is like the rule sets are definitely different from each other in the mechanics, but the overall flow of a Napoleonic battle, as long as you accept the mechanics within that rule set, it's very similar. You get a whole lot of the same flow no matter which rule set you're playing.
Right. So,
I do find the idea of 50 horsemen causing all this carnage to be a little bit absurd.
Hey, these guys are, they're the winged hussars.
It's like, let's fight. You know, we got bayonets.
Hey, I do have a quick question before we get into the next one. Does anybody recall with assaulting squares, do we move on top of the squares, or is that a 5th edition thing?
Squares, you get a combat bonus, I think, what, 1.5?
Yeah. But I was just curious if we had to move on top of them. I seem to recall that with 5th edition, but
I thought that was just horses. That's
okay. Well, no.
Infantry units which wish to move adjacent to the carre.
Oh, okay.
Infantry formation and melee do so 50% greater. Yeah, the assaulting infantry does not move on top. Like,
okay.
And do you have this sort of triangle limitation on who you can do, like how you can fire out of a square?
So yes, the firing mechanism for firing out of squares, you've got out of 3 non-adjacent hex sides.
Yeah.
Right. So as you move your infantry up against those squares, then they're going to be limited in who they can even fire at. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, they have some limitations, to be sure. So.
But they're front facing everywhere, so you can't get around them, which is the other sort of.
And they will
quit on that.
Yeah, and they will be they'll have a benefit on their morale of, I think, +6 for being in square. So for the pre-melee morale check, if you're going to go and assault them, then they're going to have that. They'll have that benefit. So.
And then once the assault happens, you retain whatever value you had, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, cool.
In the close proximity, they fight pretty good on square. I got it.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So okay, well,
it's just when you line up against them, they don't stand so well. I got it. Yeah.
Well, and the reason I bring this up is I think this is the first time in the game that anyone's gone into square. Except for like the first couple of turns when Keith got charged and put some guys in square. I think it's been a long time since we've had anyone form square. So it's a good little exercise for us.
Except David's squares all across the bottom there.
Yeah. That wasn't in reaction. So I get it.
All right. So now we have to figure out how to divvy things up. So maybe Brennan, you and Mitch can go into one room, and then Robert and David and I can figure things out over on our side of the map. And then you can come and join us when you guys are done, and we'll do stuff.
Let's
over
go
on the
game
Austrian
room
side.
1, Brendan. How about that?
Sounds good.
See you there.
Okay, Eric. So you didn't leave me basically anything to do. You just destroyed everything I wanted to destroy. I had already planned it all out, and it's all gone.
Well, there's lots of other things to destroy if you want to. So
I know, but they're not in position for. Well, I could attack those squares.
Yeah.
Or are you going to come down?
Like these two here. These two here.
Yeah.
I could certainly hit them. I got enough stuff I could, drop a bomb on it practically.
I can move that stuff over near Songus, the artillery. You know where the artillery is? Those units all can move just forward.
Oh, don't bother. Limber them up and start rolling them forward.
No, I'm not saying about the artillery, but the infantry around it.
Yeah.
I can start moving those forward.
Okay, that's fine. And then I can shift these guys over towards this side of the line. That'll work. Okay. So then you're going to take care of this cavalry. I mean, these two squares, and then this guy, and then whatever else you can hit, right?
The one square I can't reach with my infantry this turn. Wait, 1, 2, 3.
You can go past squares. They don't have a zone of influence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
4, 5. Yeah, no, I got enough stuff to move over there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can take care of those.
That square.
I'll take care of those. Yeah. I'll take care of those 2 squares, or all 3 of them. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good. Okay, cool. I'll leave you to that. So do you want to start moving your guys now?
Yeah, I'll start moving the guys in the south. Let me turn on the clock. All right. So I'll start moving the cavalry down below first.
Okay.
So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And going up the hill would be.
What's moving where?
Oh, okay. So I'm down here.
Yeah.
Okay, so these guys.
See anything move?
Okay. 1, 2. Do you see it moving?
Yeah.
3. To cross the stream, it's plus 2. So that's 6, 7, 8, 9.
Don't go up the slope. Just go around it.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And these guys are 11s.
I got it 1 short of there, but
1 short?
Yeah, I'll move.
Started here, right?
Yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, maybe. Whatever.
7,
yeah, that's close enough.
8, 9, 10, 11. And these are 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2. These guys I will have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these guys I'll leave right here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. Put here. Okay. And then these guys will go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Move up here. And here. And they're in general order, right? And these guys will go to 6, 2, 4, 6. And these guys. What do you have left? Oh, 1 increment. Okay. Do you want me to shoot at that cavalry or just not? Because you want to just you'll destroy it.
You can shoot at it. That would be lovely.
Okay, but if he routs, then what happens?
He routs.
Okay.
Then it means I'm not exhausted. I'll just be tired from the charge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. there. Okay, more there. You'll get a shot there, right? 5.
Yeah, he'll get a shot at 1 to 6.
So let me pause. Take your shot.
What am I shooting?
He's moving a unit from here to there.
Okay.
56. Nope, that's not good enough.
We'll move that guy.
Get another shot.
Yep.
Yep.
Nope, that's another great roll. Yeah.
Well, actually, yeah.
Yeah, but you've only got 1 increment firing, so.
Is there anything for attacking upslope? Does that give you
it's going to give
impact more morale?
Impact the morale of the people that are conducting the attacking up the slope, -3 for the attacker, +3 for the defender. So.
Okay. Well, with the odds and everything.
Yeah, you might as well do it. And you're going to get a shot at him. He's,
Okay, so again, I'm moving here to here. That would be a shot again.
Nope.
Okay.
And then one more.
Another shot.
No.
Okay.
Okay. And then got these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm not going to send them there anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. And then, let's see. Those guys are gone. These guys are next to gone. Let's see. We'll move these guys 1. Or is this your? Those are your guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll roll to limber this artillery. So the top one would be on.
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
3, 4, 5. Well, 3, 4, 5, or 6. You got a leader there. Actually, a 2 or better will do it. So top one limbers.
Yeah.
And both of them limber.
Okay, we'll move them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. This cav here. Them. Them. And we got Marshal So up here. He will go and help these gentlemen over here. 1, 2. Oops, they left their counter behind. We have somebody with them. Yeah. We have Davu there. We need a leader back there, actually. I don't have anybody. The range. Instead of moving the cavalry leader with the
you could move the cavalry leader with and
park instead
him
with instead of with the infantry or the cavalry, I'll put him here with the unit. Okay, I think that pretty much does it.
Did you bring up these guys that were here in the back? They don't look like they've moved yet. Over here by the vineyard?
Yeah, they only have like, one of them only has one increment left. The other one has 3 increments left.
They're pretty badly shot up.
Yeah, they'll just sit there.
All right. Okay, cool. All right, heading over towards my side of the universe. Let's go ahead and this guy's going to go here. 1, 2, and let's change his facing. 3 and put him in right there. All right, then I've got this dragoon unit's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's going over the top of your square. 8, 9, 10. So you'll get a. You got 4 increments, so you'll get a 4 to 6 on as he moves on top of you. So roll the dice and see if you get hit. Nope. And then when he moves off of you, you'll get a, I don't know, what are your Ergerskis?
That's a full shot.
Yeah. Your Ergerskis are in square times 3. So you'll have 3 times 4. You'll have a 2 to 1 shot. 34, that's good enough for a hit. Let's go ahead and add a loss, and let me make a morale check for him. 22, he might bug out. Yep, he's going to bug out. Okay, so he's marked as routed. And let me move him back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, it was worth a try. Okay. So I guess we'll just have to blow you away instead. All right. I've got this gun here. I'm going to try to limber them up. I need a 4, 5, or a 6. I got a 2. That's not going to do me any good. I will just go ahead and prolong him that way. As far as other targets of opportunity, I'm going to have these guys come up here, add in with the General Mayhem, shooting you. And the question is, do we assault the guns right into the face of the guns? Difficult question. 11, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, perhaps not. We'll turn your flank. That'll make things easier, I think. All right, I'm going to move Marshal Bernadotte over there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to move this guy here, and he's going to unlimber. So as he unlimbers, you'll get a shot at me, a 1-to-1 shot. Nope. Okay, so he's going to unlimber. And let me change his facing. Cool. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and let's put, we'll put these guys here so we'll have them in line. Oh, come on. Move to the top of the stack, Mr. Guns. There we go. All right, that's there. And now, those guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dang, they can only get that far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't get enough stuff there fast enough. Oh, but I got these guys here. Okay, so these guys are going to move down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And they can be in line right here. Yep. All right. right, and who else should we move? These guys can go this way. What's the 4-1 look like? A decent chance to get a hit. No, I think we'll consider ourselves lucky this far. All right. This guy's going to pull out and come over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he's chugging along that way. All right. All of these people need to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Gets him over here. And that guy is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put them in columns, so we'll just go 4. Okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Gets that guy there. All right, going across the stream costs an extra 1, so we'll turn this guy. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. We're going to take this cavalry unit and we'll park it right here with the others. And then we're going to take Marshal Murat and we're going to put him over here. And we'll take General Walther and we'll put him right there. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got these guys way in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And
your
1,
collection
2, 3,
of
4,
one increment.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, these are all the guys that were slumming it last time. All right, and how fast can Rat move? 14. Let's see. Can he get to anybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. He'll come over that way. Okay. Now, with Napoleon and friends. Interesting opportunities here. All right, I'm going to put that guy there. And we will have, we'll have these guys here. No. Let's see. He'll fall back over here. Okay. This guy will shift here. Oh. So, yeah. he'll go here, and that guy will go there. And let's change his facing. Okay.
How much time you got?
I just started moving, so I've got lots of time.
No,
I think I'm done. I think I'm done.
Okay,
but I just have.
You just hit 10 minutes. That's what I was wondering. Is it 10 or 12?
Yeah, I was waiting for Robert to finish before I did my stuff. So.
Right. I didn't start. I reset the clock when you started.
Oh, okay. So I just hit 10. Okay. So, yeah, last but not least, I just had one guy here to pull out. So you can take a shot at me here. It'll be a 2.5 to 1 as this guy leaves that hex. Oh, that's a miss. Okay. So that is that, as they say. And how many increments is that? Okay. All right. I think that takes care of all of my exciting movement. We had a moving experience.
That was a lot of movement.
That was a lot of movement. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So it's time for defensive fire. So David, you probably want to start. You've got some stuff, I guess, going on down here somewhere, right?
Yeah. Well, I guess the first one is going to be this guy right here, whatever.
Yeah. So he's worth 2 points. Increment. So 2 to 6, a 1 to 3 shot.
Yeah. All right. I don't have anything there.
And then this guy's got 3 increments times. I think they're times 2 in square. So he's 6, and then he's divided by 3. 2. So he's got 2. So it's a 2 to 6 as well. Oh, that's a good roll, but not good enough.
Not good enough.
Yep. Now you're over here, and that's going to be another 2 to 6 on that guy.
Well, that's it.
Or you could combine these two on that one.
Yeah, let me do that. I'm going to combine whatever little bit I got there.
So that's not enough. But this guy can fire here.
Fire there, and so we'll have another one there. No, that's not enough.
Okay. And then now we're over here with these squares. So this guy could fire here, and then these two could combine there if that's what you wanted to do.
That sounds like a decent thing here.
So first one there, that's going to be 6.
No.
Nope. And then you'll have...
next one, nope.
Nope. Okay. And then if you want to do this one here, you've got Kindmeyer. He can fire there, or he can fire on the guns and maybe kill Napoleon, end the whole battle.
Well, you can always hope for a 65 or a 66.
Yep, that's what you got to do. Here we
tempting.
go. This could be all over.
Oh, very close.
So close. Kindmeyer. This was the little sharpshooter there. There was a little bullet through Napoleon's hat there, like
in the movie.
In the movie, exactly.
Maybe a horse on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Nice roll, David. That's as close as you can get. It's like you pays your money and you takes your chance.
All right. Yeah, so I think that's it for defensive fire. So now it's offensive fire. So Robert, did you want to get started first?
Sure. Let's see. So I have these guys will fire on. Go away. So these guys will fire on these guys. I think.
So it's probably a 7 to 9.
7.
Yeah. So it's a 1 to 1.5.
Yeah.
And that's a miss.
And these guys probably are 7.
So it's probably a 1-to-1 shot on the cavalry.
Yep.
And that's a miss.
Hey, and Eric, you got 2 guys way in the back that you might want to consider moving. I talked to Brett, and he's cool with you doing something with them at the appropriate time.
2 guys in the back?
These are your guys way back where the band is?
Yeah. I moved them.
Okay.
Right? I moved them here, 1, 2, 3. I moved them so they could keep, I guess they can move here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
You're taking the band with you, man.
Well,
so
no.
here we got.
Oh yeah, of course the band goes. What are you talking about? The band. The whole point is to have the band there, so that way they can influence the guys that are routed.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me stand corrected. Hey. All right. Very good.
I thought they were the most powerful assault unit in the game. Okay.
They are fairly impressive. Oh, yes. David, Mitch, did your cavalry die?
Yes.
Okay. But the charge marker is there. That's just a little bloody.
Yeah, those are dead horses.
Dead horses.
I did put a 3 spot on this guy.
Oh, nice. Oh, there's not much left of him. Yeah. That's pretty good.
All right. So I got 14 to 4 here.
14 to 4. So you got
4 to 1.
Yep, 3 to 1.
Or 3 to 1. 3 to 1.
Yep. 61 and 3 to 1. That's going to be 2 hits.
And they're not.
How are you getting 14 to 4?
So it's these 2 column are against the square.
It's us attacking him. It's not a defensive shot. I apologize for misunderstanding me.
And they're not in square anymore.
They're not in square anymore. So they've got 1 increment left. So they'll need to make a morale check with a -12. And they're gonna disorder.
I'll recall my infantry and then move them forward. Okay.
Yes, recall your infantry indeed.
Yes. Okay, so these guys, they might be an 8. No, they're a 9. Wow. Okay. So that would be 9 to 4. So that's a 2 to 1. So 2 to 1.
Yeah. 43 2 to 1. That's good enough for a hit. And
so you weren't able to
get up there.
Yeah.
You weren't quite able to get into the line on those.
No, they had to run as fast as they could.
And they were just outside of their ability to. Yeah, I get it.
Okay, and then I got these guys here. So, that's another 9. Wow, these guys are good too. Are you going to use these guys?
I put them there so you could use them to take a pot shot. So they will add 9 plus 4. They'll add 11.
Plus 9, so that's 20. 20 to 4, so that's 5.
No, actually, they'll add 13. So they're 13 plus whatever your guy is.
So that's 22 to 4. So that's it's 5 to 1 still.
So who are you shooting with?
These guys are 9.
Oh, okay. And then so this guy's worth 14. So that's going to be
so that's
23 to 4. So it's going to be 5 to 1.
Yeah.
A 42 at 5 to 1 is 2 hits.
2 hits.
Boom, boom.
And no longer squared.
Yep, no longer squared. And what? Now they're up to what? Half dead?
Yep.
And they're going to bug out. So they just order back, I guess.
Starting to look like Russia in 1941.
Yeah, we just need our panzers. All right, I've got a 2 to 1 shot here on your ponies with a +3 for size. 61 at 2 to 1. That's good enough for a single hit on your Seltzer Hussars. And time for a morale check, and they pass. All right, then over here I've got these guys and these guys firing here. So that's going to be 20, it's going to be 30 to 4. is going to be 7-1, shifted to 8-1 for canister. 62 at 8-1. That's going to be 3 hits on those guys.
Unreal.
Combined arms, when it works, is a beautiful thing.
It is a beautiful thing.
He still has enough to maintain square, though.
Yeah, he's still got 3 increments, right?
But he will have to make a morale check.
And he bugs out.
Well, I get a morale bonus for being in square, right?
So you're half dead, so that's a -6. You're on a level, that's another -6. Hey, but you're in squares, that's +6, right? So I think you'd, with a 14, you'd need a lot to try to stick around. So they're gonna clear out, which is just as well.
It's their best move in many regards.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, the worst case for you was to pass that morale check.
Yeah, because then they just get trounced in the melee phase. All right, and then I've got 12 to 4. I got a 3-1 shot there. 41 at 3-1. That's good enough for a hit.
Oh.
Plink one off there. No, is that their first hit?
Yeah.
Yep. So no morale check for them yet. All right, and then over here, I've got, these guys are going to take a shot here at you. So I've got their worth 12, 15 to 9. So that's going to be, no, 15 to 6, actually. You're in column there, right? Yeah. So 15 to 6 is going to be 2.5 to 1. And I think you've got, 14 increments left? So that will be a +5. Here we go. 16 at 2.5 to 1 with a +5. That's a 25. That's enough for a single hit.
Oh, wow.
And a morale check for your beloved leader. And they pass. All right, now it's the time for the return of the revenge of Kindmeyer here. You had your chance. All right, so I've got 12, and then I've got over here with Napoleon. That's going to be 42.
It's like 800.
53. So 53 plus 12. That's going to be 63. 65. 65 to 9. What are we at there? Are we
7-1?
7-1 shifted to 8-1, and then a +12 for Napoleon. 14. What did you know it? So that's going to be a 35. So that's
34.
2 hits.
Not your best shot, boss.
Hey, that's okay. He still has to make a morale check. And they may bug out. So that's going to be it. Yeah. Well, or do they? They're Austrian. Do all the Austrians get the benefit of being in line, or just the line infantry? Do you remember, Brennan?
I don't recall.
Yeah, because if they're in line, they'd get a +3, and then Kindmeyer's there, so they'd have a +6. But I can't remember if I don't have the special rules. Let's see if there's anything here.
Let me see if I can find it. Special unit types: elite infantry. Russian, no. Garrison.
Yeah, this is like Austrians. So it's just the question whether that +3 bonus applies to all the Austrians or just to the select.
Where would that be? I looked under the special unit types and formations. It doesn't say anything. maybe it would be under realm modifier.
No, it wouldn't be in the charts.
So all it says here on the chart, page 8, on the special rules, it says Austrian defenders in line +3.
Okay, so then that would apply to them. So they're Austrians, they're in line. So you'd have a +6 on the roll, so they would stand.
Yeah.
Yep. All right, and then over here I've got these guys are going to fire on those chaps there. And so I've got, what have I got? 22, 43, 43 to 7 is going to be 6-1 odds. Here we go. 42 at 6-1, that's 2 hits. So 1 hit on the guns and 1 hit on the infantry. And the guns need to make a morale check. They'll have a plus. And I guess the Grenzers need to make a morale check too, since that was their second hit.
I know I keep asking redundant questions, but it's is it not a single die roll for a stack? If you roll individually?
Well, in some cases, so say just the infantry took a hit, you wouldn't roll for the guns because they didn't take a hit.
Right, but I mean, if multiple units in a stack are rolling for a morale check, do you make one die roll, and if the top unit fails, then it's the crescendo of, negative modifiers, but if the top unit passes, then it's the crescendo of positive modifiers?
I don't know. I mean, I know that in a lot of the other rule sets, you would roll for the top stack or the top unit in the stack first. With Premier, I can't remember off the top of my head what you do. But just go ahead and roll, and we'll see what we get.
Rolling for the top here, whatever.
So the guns are disordered, and then roll for the infantry. And they're good. So the guns are disordered. Okay, and that is it as far as shooting goes.
Yep.
So now we've got assaults. So Robert, do you want to start with your assaults down in the south?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I got this one here.
Yep. So you've got like 8-1 odds.
Yeah.
So he's got to roll to see if he stands. He's going to have a lot of minuses, I think.
And he's half dead.
Yeah, so let's see what's the
he didn't stand.
He's got a minus. Yeah, he's going to go.
He has a -9 on top. Yeah.
Yeah, so you'd have a -12 and then another -9, a -9 on top of it. He'd have a minus 21 again. So he's going to bug out.
And then
you can advance. You can advance into the vacated hex.
Sure.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, and then this one could join in with your two.
Nope, you can't combine the infantry with the cavalry.
Cavalry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with this one, I'm going to have. So he can't retreat before combat because he's got zones of influence behind him. So he's just going to have to stick it out. So let me go ahead and flip these guys over and see what they're worth. So he is worth 6, and then he's worth
-1 on my
18.
cavalry modifier.
All right. So I've got 24, and then I'm times 2 for, so 24 times 2 for heavy versus light, and then times 2 again for having gone straight. So I've got 96 to, I don't know, whatever you got, 13. So it's pretty convincing. 7-1 odds. All right, and then my leader, Boyne, he's going to add in 2, and then your leader's going to give me an extra 1. So it's 5-1 with a +3 from the looks of it. Here we go. Let's see what we get. 14. So that's going to be a DD. So you're going to lose 1 increment when you leave the hex, and then you'll lose another increment for whatever hex you go into.
Can they even move through the trees?
They have to, because there's no other path available to them.
But are they allowed to? I mean, is that basically an encirclement?
Yeah. So not entirely. So he could go there, and then he could go there, and then.
Okay, but
well, actually, no, he can't. He's if he's going by the if he's going by the So there's 1, 2, and
Folks,
then
I have a hard stop here at midnight, so I'm gonna jump off.
Okay, all right, Brennan. I don't think we've got anything else going on your side of the world.
All right, if you could send me the file.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
All right.
Bye, Brennan.
Thanks, everybody. Yep.
See you next week.
So I'm gonna lose 2.
So
and he's routed, right?
Yeah, he's cavalry. He'd be routed.
Yeah. 2. So what is he? 13, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
So he's going to move back
8,
10.
9,
He just moves
11.
back 10 because it's on the so just 10 hexes back. All right, and then these guys will.
So it was 5 per the woods, right?
So on the melee matrix chart, which is what we use in Premiere to identify the results, it says they retreat 10 hexes.
Oh, okay. So you ignore movement costs. Gotcha.
Right. So that's kind of the difference there.
Now, does moving through the zone of influence cause any replications?
Yes, it did. So he suffered additional losses for having done that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right, let me clone that. All right. And let's flip him.
Did you have to use all that cavalry, or could he save some of it and be in a lesser level?
I didn't have anything else to do with them, and so they had to go somewhere. They had to do something. So that's what they did. All right, moving up the line. I guess you've got your attack over here on this guy.
I got a 4-1 there.
Yeah, so go ahead and make a morale check, David. 41. He's going to have a minus at
6
4-1 odds. Is it -6, -12? Yeah, they're going to bug out.
Whoops, go that way.
It's through a Zoc either way.
Does that mean they?
So they're not going to take any losses because it was a failed pre-melee morale check. So that's the difference. Yeah, if they'd passed the pre-melee morale check and then Robert had passed his, then we'd go to the odds table and we would calculate what's.
I would say one of the most significant differences between rule sets is this underlying concept that disordered units retreat in Premiere, whereas in Regs 30 they unfortunately have to stand and take their
horrific
losses.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, there's something to that. Okay.
That's pretty massive. Yeah.
Yeah. Now over here on this one, we've got I've only got 1 increment, so I've got 3, and I'm doubled, so I've got 6, and you've got 30, we'll just say 33, right?
Yeah.
So it's way off the mark, and I've got minuses because it's way beyond 1 to 2. So I'm just gone. I'm just dead. There's, as simple as that. He is toast. So let me go ahead and plunk him on the table with all of the other dead dragoons. He did his job. He died for the emperor. All right, so then your guy's going to be marked as exhausted because he reaction charged. No, we got to put a French one on him. So here I cloned one. And then he'll be marked with a flag because you reaction charge. He won't be able to move next turn.
Not that it would matter in this situation, but he would, normally he would get that 5 movement, successful charge, retreat back.
Right. Yeah, that would be the case in the other ones.
Yeah, because he gets stuck up there.
Yeah. All right. So I'm not going to do any attacks there. So we've got this attack here with the cavalry. So here I'm going to have, so the light cavalry that's in this hex is not involved in the attack, but everybody else is. So let's go ahead, and I think all these guys are about the same. Yeah, so he's going to be worth, he's half, so we'll say he's worth 7, doubled is 14. All right, I got to keep track of all of this. Okay, so he's worth 14. All right, and then this stack here, I added in, I'm just going to pick it up and move it. Okay, so this guy is, let's just flip all of these and we can figure it out. Come on, move, work with me. Okay, so that's just one increment. So we'll say that's worth 3, and that's doubled and for hitting you in the flank. So that's going to be 6. All right, and then this guy.
Doubled or 1.5?
Well, I'm hitting you in the flank, so I'm doubled hitting you in the flank. So if I were hitting you in the rear, it would be improved by 50%. So it would be 1.5.
Oh, okay. I knew there was. I thought there was 1.5 in there somewhere.
All right, so that's going to be, say, they're worth about 4.
Well, the flank is better than the rear. That's interesting.
Yeah. So.
Do I read that right? Marat gets a +12 on this?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Jiminy Christmas! What an amazing counter.
Okay. And then this guy has lost. That's easy. They're worth 4 each, so he's worth 20 doubled. So he's going to be worth 40. Okay. So we got 40 plus 34 plus 17 plus 6. We got 97. And
I got 40.
And you've got 40.
2 to 1.
Well, but you're tired, so you're halved.
1. Yeah.
Right? So you've got actually 20.
4 to 1.
So it's 4.5 to 1.
Oh, there is a 4.5. Okay.
Yep, there is a 4.5 to 1. I've got a plus 12 for Marat. You've got a plus 4. Yeah, plus 4 for your leader. So it's a plus 8 altogether. Yep. So 4.5 to 1 with a plus 8. 12. Uh-oh. this is a problem.
20.
So that's going to be 12 plus 8 is going to be, well, it's a DD.
32.
Yeah, so they're going to lose an increment and rout. And then I've got 2 leaders in that hex. I got Marat and I got Kellerman. So I got to roll to see who it is that takes the saber blade up the nostril there. So on a 1, 2, or 3, it's Marat. On a 4, 5, or 6, it's Kellerman. A 3. Okay, it is Marat, and let's see what we get. A 2. He got his saber blade through the chest.
Oof.
Ooh, that is nasty business.
That is unfortunate.
That is, but hey, that is the fortunes of war, as they say. So
you didn't leave him. You didn't leave the Neapolitans any chance to take care of him.
Oh well, what can you do? The Neapolitans, they were going. Yeah, Marat's days were numbered anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
his mistresses will be upset.
Yeah, indeed.
Wow, Marat dies.
Yep.
Ouch.
Yep. Yeah. It's not the first time I've killed Marat. Let's just put it that way.
I killed him at Eylau once.
Yeah.
Yeah. The grand charge.
Yeah, with a grand charge. Okay, so now what I've got to do is, so go ahead and have your guys run away, and they're going to go back 10 hexes.
So you're going to make morale checks at -12.
No, he's got it's -10, right?
Okay, -10.
Right, but Kellerman adds in 3, so it's just only a -7. All right, so for this unit, let's see if they stick around. 26. They're probably going to bug out. Yep, they're going to bug out. So they're going to rout. This guy
this is
here.
Crazy bad result.
Their rout. That guy there. They might actually stick around. That's going to be a 24. They're a 23. Yeah, so they're going to stick around. Everybody else is going to rout away. So,
does the leader go with him?
Yeah, Kellerman. Well, or I could leave him with this one poor bastard who stuck around, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's where those 2 dragoons are going to go. All right, and they're going to be marked as exhausted. All right, and then they can retreat over the top of these guys here. So where were they at? They were, I think they were here, right? Yep. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They'll be back over here. And I think the other guy's also a 10.
That is one of the all-time epic failures.
Oh, it's not an epic failure. It is classic, pure, lovable La Bataille.
Wow. 4.5 to 1.
No,
4.5 to 1, and you roll you get a bad roll. You know, it is what it is. It happens, and we all get to laugh about it next time we get together and have a cup of coffee. We'll talk about that time that you had this great, brilliant attack and this and that and everything else, and then Marat ends up getting killed. So,
do you feel like that's a 1 in 12 chance that the guy dies is representative of the situation?
I don't know. I mean, there's lots of different games that have different mechanisms for dealing with this sort of thing. So we're playing the Battles of the Age of Reason, and we got stuff going on with them where they end up getting leaders are getting shot off their horses.
It's just kind of a side. It's just kind of a side commentary in my mind that I've kind of wondered about as to the realism of that sort of frequency of death is realistic for the situation.
Marat, when he led charges, he was out in front often.
Yeah.
He was.
Oh, I don't dispute that. I'm just thinking, did he lead? I mean, odds wise, if he leads 12 charges in his life, he's dead.
Well,
You know what I
I
mean?
don't
Because
know.
that
Yeah.
your number should come up,
Well,
just statistically.
he's led a whole bunch here. So this is not
Right.
his. I mean, he's probably single-handedly gone all over the place with all kinds of different attacks so far. So,
But he led charges throughout the Napoleonic era and
oh yeah,
survived,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I mean, that's
yeah,
it's here or there.
but so did Lasalle, and Lasalle got killed at Wagram, and I mean, the cavalry officers, they had a really tough time, all things considered. So, hey, it is what it is. You know, there you go. We will all mourn the loss of Marshal Murat. And then I guess Napoleon will have to marry off his sisters to some other guy at some point in time, right? So he's got one of his sisters a widow. I guess we need to get her married off to somebody else.
Flashiest dresser in the Grand Army is gone.
Exactly.
We actually came close to having Napoleon and Murat in the same
I know.
term,
I know. This is it's a little bit of hot work out here for the marshals, but hey, if you're not attacking, you're not winning.
It's all the random number generator's fault.
It is. We can blame it on Vassal. All right, so we're done with all of our combat at this point. So now it would be a case where we're going to
recover.
Yep, roll for recoveries. So, Robert, why don't you start out in your end of the universe? I think you've got somebody out there.
A couple, yeah. So I have one here.
Okay, go ahead. 66. Yeah. Oh, they're very happy.
They're good.
All right, and this guy should be a +6, I think. Okay, yeah, they're good. And that guy's going to be a +5, I think, for Soul.
Maybe we should move the band over to your section.
33.
Yep, that's good enough. Because you got a +5.
Oh, he's that good, really?
Yeah, Soul is like +11.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Yeah.
He motivates.
He is. Now, unlike, say, Bernadotte.
Was it Hill at Waterloo that's so bad?
Oh, Hill's not too bad. It was, it's the Prince of Orange.
Prince of Orange, thank you.
Yeah. The Prince of Orange is the one who's kind of problematic there at Waterloo. All right.
Everybody's back.
Yep. Over to my end of the world. We've got this cavalry unit, so let's roll for them. 66. They are happy. And let's go ahead and delete that. And let's clone one of these exhausted markers. All right, next stack here. Wouldn't you know it? They fail. All right, because they got a -6. They got a -3 altogether. That's still not good enough. So 1,
because
2,
they're stacked,
3,
it's one roll.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. It's just easier. I mean, I guess we could roll for the bottom unit. We'll roll for the bottom unit. Same thing.
Well,
yeah.
But usually you do get it moved out.
Yeah, it was destiny. If they're in mourning for the loss of Marshal Murat. All right, here we got this. I think that's going to be what have I got? I got a -2.
Napoleon may have some men shot.
All right, so those guys are back. And let's figure out which way we're going to face them. Okay, cool. These guys here. And they're back. And let's figure out which way to face them. That way, I guess. All right. Do I have anybody that's disordered? No.
How about the guys within the vicinity
Oh,
of the
yeah.
van?
So this guy over here, he's a cavalry unit. So just straight up roll, 36. He's back. And let's go ahead and flip him over and mark him as exhausted. I'll just take the exhausted marker off of this guy because he didn't go anywhere this turn. And I'll just plunk it on the other guy. Whoops.
I've got one to roll,
Okay, go ahead.
which fails, which does not pass. So here we go.
So, yeah, so there, well, so let's see. So what did you roll, a 21?
Yeah.
So you roll for the disorder, for the routed guys first. So you had this guy here.
Well, that's you.
Oh, is it?
Isn't it?
Oh, okay.
I think it's you. Maybe it's me, but I think it's you.
Drew off.
Okay. All right. So that guy is, what's his story? He's routed. Okay, so then I got this guy. So he will have a minus what? Well, we'll just flip it over and figure it out. Duro. So he will have a -3 altogether. He's better. Okay. So that's that recovered. Fleep. Okay, and then we'll get rid of that. Okay. Did you have anybody else, Mitch?
Nope, just the one. Just the one.
Okay. Well, sometimes that's all it takes.
Oh, the Battle of Austerlitz is about to happen.
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah. Stuff is starting to form up over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah. You'll be there in another turn. Start to get him sweating, or at least thinking about sweating. Okay. Well, cool.
Oh, he's got the Cossacks coming over.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got the Cossacks are coming. All right, and what else do we have? Anybody else? Okay, everybody else is. Yeah, I think that's it. I think we've got everybody that we need to worry about at the moment. Okay.
Hey, how do you guys play this role? Do you see my line of sight on the board that I put? It's one of those weird vertice crossings.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that's still line of sight.
I'd want to, but I mean, it technically crosses right at that point. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. I mean, technically,
mathematical.
Yes, it is along the hex side. So
that's not a hex side, and it says hex side. It doesn't say hex point.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It doesn't say vertices. So that's if it were.
But is it a point or is it? Yeah. Okay. So anyway,
yeah,
I was just curious as to how you guys played that.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I would say that's it, because it's not. If you were coming up, from down here, then you'd have this along the hex.
No, I mean, but when it just passes right over that little corner, you know what I mean? It's like, is that in or out?
I would say it's in. Yeah,
okay.
I would say that's it's in. So, okay.
Now, if it cut the corner, like if that was like 1 over.
Well, that would be completely different. But I mean, when it passes right over
when it's just right over the point, I've always played that's.
I mean, the point is part of the side. It's not like
No, but it does say the hex side. It does specific. A point is not part of a side. A point is a point.
Well, we can argue about math if you want, but I mean, yes, I follow you. The line ends at the point, so a side is Is it a square bracket or an ellipse bracket?
Right.
On a range.
Okay. All right. Well, I think that takes care of everything we needed to deal with. So we can go ahead and save the game.
Well, it has been interesting to watch the that's just terrible about Murat, because man, that's going to hurt losing him. Ouch.
Yeah.
You lost Superman. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, he's so as far as, when you're thinking about how the advantages that the French have, right? One of their advantages that they have, generally speaking, superior leaders. And so, having a leader like Murat is great. But, you use them and there's a risk that you could lose them. And so that's just the way the cookie crumbles,
And this is one of those major reflections of Regs 30 versus this type set, where in Regs 30 you're using your leaders in a completely different manner. They're controlling troops, not leading action, as a general rule.
Yes. So if we were playing with a game where Murat is responsible for generating a command point or stuff like that, there's no way I'd put him out there. And you might use him in a grand charge, but you wouldn't put him in the front rank of it. You'd normally have he would be in the center, and maybe you'd have a group of, because you could normally get a bunch of cavalry kind of all bunched around the center point. And so by the time anything got to him, in theory, he'd be in better shape. But true, he could still get taken out.
But I mean, just the general idea that in Regs, Napoleon is never in the front line.
No,
what I mean. He's doing his command. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
he's sending
and same thing.
He might be running some artillery.
Same thing in 5th edition and everything else. I mean, you'd only have him with the artillery if the artillery is sequestered away somewhere cozy, and you don't have to worry about the potential that he's going to get shot off his horse or something like that.
Yeah, so, it is one of the kind of definitive differences between the rules. Whereas in the Marshal, you definitely put him in the front because that's his role, is to get combat modifiers.
Yep. Or you have him in the back where he's helping, rally guys. So you saw how Robert had Davout and So back in the back helping to rally troops. That's another use that you'd have for them. So generally speaking, your combat units in Premier are, for the most part, risking life and limb a little bit more than they would be in the other game systems, where it's more important that they are
the core activation.
Yeah.
So been fun, guys. We'll see everybody next week.
All right.
See how this thing wraps up.
Oh yeah, indeed. It'll be an interesting little adventure to see how it all pans out. Okay.
A few more turns.
Indeed. All right. Well,